Hey guys, this update is gonna be a very short one. I mostly just worked on bug fixing and I don't think that's a very interesting topic to talk about. There was also one big change that was network related, but we'll get to that later. But first, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell button, it helps a ton with the algorithm. So let's get the bugs out of the way. Here's what's been fixed. Now the minor stuff. There's now a message that pops up when you lose or win a round. I prepared the temple map for development. I'm gonna start work on it soon. Updated the volcano map a bit. Lighting and assets should look a bit better now. There are also some other details added. On the design side of things, I buffed the ultimate gain rate in general. In playtesting, people hardly use ultimates, so I raised the values and I'm gonna see how it plays out. Also, nerfed the dry to heal a bit. Now let's get on to the more important stuff. In the game, the characters have a small physics-based animation when they get hit. This animation runs locally and in the server. When hitting consecutive shots at the edge of the hitbox, the desynchronization between the server and client could cause the shots to miss. So I did some digging, and while I could not solve this fully because I will always need to run animations on the server, I messed around with the values and how it was handled and managed to make it less prevalent. Players didn't notice before, and I doubt they will notice now after the improvement. There were some issues with lobbies and parties, so I did what any programmer would do and took a look at the code. From what I understood, from looking at the subsystem code, Steam uses parties to advertise lobbies, and so, when you join a lobby, you automatically join a party, which makes you leave the previous party. I haven't come up with a good solution for this yet, and I might end up having to write my own party backend to make this work properly. But for now, I try to work around it by creating and disbanding parties at the end of a custom game. Now, on to the last big thing. I moved the ninja movement spells to the CMC. What does that mean, you may ask? Well, to understand this last part, I will explain a few things about Unreal. Unreal Engine has a concept called actors. Actors is the base thing that you can put in a map, and actors have components like skeletal meshes, static meshes or cameras. And there's a special component called the character movement component, that is usually called the CMC, which handles character movement and makes sure that the movement is synced between the server and the client. Previously I had the dash spells outside of the CMC, because the CMC is extremely complex and I couldn't be bothered to learn it with all the stuff that I had to work on. But it was on my backlog, so I took 1 week just to learn the CMC and move all the necessary logic to it. I don't feel like I know everything about it yet, since it's one of the most, if not the most complex part of the Unreal Engine, but for now I think I have a basic grasp of how it works and more importantly, how to make something work with it. The CMC has some limitations, like the amount of data that you can send, but luckily for us, the amount of data that is sending by default is exactly what we need. It sends 4-bit flags to signal inputs, and we have exactly 4 spells per character. So I guess we got lucky. All this just to say that the ninja's dash is gonna feel much smoother without rubber banding, because I'm doing it properly this time. I wanna say thanks to Delgoodie for properly documenting the CMC in video format, and for making the best tutorials I could find. If any devs are watching this and are interested, I will leave a link to his channel in the description below. There's probably not gonna be a video for December, since I'm gonna take a break for the holidays and I'm probably not gonna get much done, so there's probably not gonna be much to talk about. But moving on. The game is in a playable state, so if you wanna test the game or just hang out, join us on Discord. I will leave a link in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time.